Anthem TV, a free streaming digital community. With a click of a mouse or a tap on your phone, you have instant access to free TV shows, movies on demand, music, pay-per-view events, and so much more. Download Anthem TV on your smartphone, smart TV, or any streaming device and enjoy instant access. Subscribe and download Anthem TV today.
And welcome to the Texas Weather Connection here on Anthem Television on this special weekend, Mother's Day weekend. We love all our moms, and happy Mother's Day to everybody, and hope everybody's doing well. I'm meteorologist Robert Luna.
Meteorologist Brian Silva, and again, just want to build on what Robert said. Happy Mother's Day. We got you covered for this weekend. We are going to look at the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms for a good chunk of the state, Robert. I mean, it's looking from tonight, starting out in the western part of the area, and then kind of working its way towards the DFW area throughout tomorrow. So we'll get into that here in just a second. Absolutely. And then we got our around Texas forecast. So we'll highlight, Houston. We'll go up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go look at out west in El Paso. We can't forget y'all out there. We'll talk about the beach forecast. Again, some are still probably down at the beach.
A lot of people heading down there all the time.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's already almost middle of May, so it's beach weather time. And then we'll finish up with our SA 7-day forecast.
You got it. The all-important 7-day forecast gets you the weekend, but gets you the work week forecast as well. And seeing we're in the peak of severe weather, and actually we've been in the peak of severe weather for months now. We've been talking tornadoes, rain, flooding, and it continues. I always like calling this the peak of severe season from about Cinco de Mayo or Fiesta time to about the 15th of May. And then after that, I always like to say we transition into more of a flooding situation for our area because things start slowing down in the upper levels of the atmosphere.
Yes. And I believe we were talking about this not too long ago. We were I think the Storm Prediction Center put out a statement yesterday on Twitter that it was 16 consecutive days of severe weather, and right. We finally had a break of severe weather for the last, 24, 30 hours or so. But I mean, the number of reports of tornadoes and hail across the country, and especially here in Texas, I mean, it was unbelievable. One of the most active periods there that we've seen.
Yeah. And what we just had on Thursday was huge hail. I mean, you talk about record-breaking hail. We just had the biggest hailstone just a few years ago in D'Hanis, and this one was the second largest in Johnson City. And again, in our county warning area for San Antonio, not far away, one just west of here and now just north of here, record-breaking hail, the size of it.
It was, I believe, in Johnson City, 6.25 inches hail.
That's correct. Right.
I mean, that is, oh my gosh, that is huge. That's like the size of a DVD. I mean,
right. I think people were saying DVD size hail, and that's what it was.
So hopefully, I know we had a lot of viewers that were tuning in on our updates with the San Marcos radar. So hopefully you were able to seek shelter in time, kind of protect your property. But even with that type of hail, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I can only imagine the amount of roof damage. I saw a lot of tree leaves down and branches down. I mean, it was rough.
Windows broken because by the time that storm reached the San Marcos area, it was really wind-driven hail. And you're talking big hail driven into sides of buildings, sides of homes, and it's going to go through the glass.
Yes, and we even had a tornado warning for that same storm, and on radar, I mean, it looked impressive. I mean, it was actually kind of terrifying. It looked like one of those storms that we were seeing in Oklahoma, and then the San Angelo area, the Abilene area, where they had confirmed tornadoes on the ground. Luckily, haven't heard any reports of tornadoes, but confirmed tornadoes in the San Marcos area. But again, that hail being wind driven, that's just how strong this storm was. It was insanely strong.
Right. So I think we're dealing with a different situation today. I think if we do have any severe weather, it's going to be way out to the west, to along I-10 out towards Fort Stockton. You're talking Alpine area. The Big Bend area is the one that's going to be under the gun today, which is way out west. And then, of course, that'll transition eastward as we go through tomorrow and Mother's Day. And that's what you're talking about here, what we have on the radar.
Yeah,
what's expected tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, it wasn't even in terms of, we talked with everybody about the levels of severe weather, right? And we only had really for as of yesterday, even yesterday evening, we only had just for today a level 1, level 2 across really the entire state for the weekend, and we didn't have that slight chance that level that we start moving up, and now they've thrown that in. The Storm Prediction Center has thrown it in for that Fort Stockton area, like you were talking about out in West Texas. And then we see this threat expand a whole lot more into Monday. So we'll get into that. Let's go ahead, though, and let's look at our Mother's Day forecast. Let's go ahead and let's focus in on Sunday. And notice 9 o'clock in the morning, Robert. I mean, this is it's quite a bit of rain that's going to be out there across the state.
Right. And you're going to be looking at rain just maybe north of San Antonio, but Austin, Waco, College Station, just north of Houston, and all of this spreading northward towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area as we go through the day. But those planning barbecues, I know a lot of the guys will be cooking for their moms, for their wives. Anything south of San Antonio is looking very nice for barbecues. It's going to be a nice day to barbecue. But if you're in northeast, and East Texas, may have to have some alternate plans for outdoor activities.
And I know what everybody here in San Antonio is thinking. They're looking at this. They're like, why are we missing out again? And I'll tell you right now, everybody, it's not that we're missing out, but it's looking like our best chances are going to be later tonight and early tomorrow morning. And then this that we're seeing at 9 o'clock is what has moved north from our area. So it's not that we're going to completely miss out again. We're hoping that we get some rain in there, some good rain, but it looks like it's looking better in terms of the percentage of rain here in the city tomorrow. Because if we move our into the afternoons, the afternoon hours, I mean, take a look. I mean, it's staying to the east, it's staying to the north. That's ideal for us, not ideal for the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Right.
But before it looked like that this was going to be a pretty rainy event for the San Antonio area, just as we were looking at the models yesterday. So again, us always talking about how these models are always refreshing. They get the latest data from the atmosphere. They kind of take everything in as the moment gets closer. And so it tries to paint a better picture. Now, again, we've seen these models paint pictures, just hours in advance, and it still doesn't do a good job. So this could be different tomorrow morning. We could see rain here. We could see rain not as much in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, it's going to be hour by hour. So the good thing, though, I think, Robert, is that we're not really expected to see really any severe weather with this event through Mother's Day.
Yeah, most of this will just be a rain event with some thunderstorms embedded in, and as it moves eastward. And, of course, these areas east of San Antonio, northeast of San Antonio, if you move 2 or 3 counties east of San Antonio, these areas are not in drought anymore. They're actually running normal or above normal in rainfall, and yet in San Antonio, you move right over our area, and we're still in drought, in extreme drought. There's a fine line almost. You go 50 miles east, 50 miles northeast, and it becomes, the grounds are saturated, and you get to our area here in San Antonio, and we're dry as a bone.
But, and Robert, you mentioned it, typically the second half of May transitions over to more of a rain event and kind of start to push away a little bit more from the severe weather event. And we've had a ton of Memorial Day weekends here in San Antonio in the hill country that we flood. So fingers crossed that, we're just, again, we're only on May 11th today. We'll see what happens in a few weeks when we get to Memorial Day weekend. But hey, anything's possible, especially in the springtime.
In the spring, I do want to touch on, we talked about the severe weather, how humid it was Thursday, and we had that huge hail just north of us. But last night, if you went out last night, you felt there was a cool front that came through. It felt great out there. You felt there was less humidity. Even the smoke that was around that Sergio talked about the other day, that smoke was gone. It was very nice to be out there last night. And you don't get many of those May evenings where it's nice, cool evening, maybe to sit outside and enjoy a nice time with the family on the patio.
Yeah. We had my daughter's softball game last night. And there was a nice little breeze. It felt great, and being under the lights and just couldn't have asked for anything better, for a May evening. And
Right.
you know, Robert, we were seeing pictures this morning. There is some northern lights here in the Texas, the South
What,
Texas area.
what's interesting is we didn't have much severe weather around the country yesterday, but we did have a severe
Yes.
aurora or magnetic storm that came off the sun, a solar flare, came to the earth, one of the biggest since 1989, the 2003
Mm-hmm.
magnetic storm, and this was as intense or even more, and there's more to come. What's interesting is the northern lights were visible all the way to San Antonio and
Yes.
points northward.
Florida.
The
I
one in
saw some pictures
1989
from Florida.
The one in
Mhm.
1989 was visible all the way to Honduras, so that's how strong that one was.
Yes.
But there's some great pictures that came out of Bernie, out of Austin, out of Lake Travis, the hill country. Of course, depending where you were, visibility. I drove out to Bernie just north of there, and I could barely see them. They're beautiful red tint to it. I didn't get a picture. I don't know how to use the camera too well and do maybe some of the filters, but some people didn't even need their filters. But you do want to hold it steady, and it was just beautiful out there. Just that red tint out there.
Yes.
But it's going to maybe be hard to see it tonight. If it's visible tonight, it's going to be hard to see it because we're going to have more clouds around. But there'll be people
Right.
around the country that are going to see it again tonight.
Yes, and you know this the level of this magnetic storm. I mean, we're looking at possibly some communication disruptions. So if
Yes.
you happen to be out, you know, further into the hill country or in a more rural area away from the cities, and you realize that where you typically would have service, it's all of a sudden you're having trouble.
Right.
That could be why. You know, that could be a
If
possibility.
even if you're watching a game on TV, something
Mhm.
that's live, communicated through satellite, that may have some issues. Your GPS may not work at times as well. So
Yeah, because I mean, look again. It was what 19 in the 1980s, and then early 2000s that this last in the terms of the level of this type of event has happened. Technology
right,
wasn't as big, you know, compared to what we have now. So
right.
so this is going to be kind of a learning curve to see how
How it
much it does
affects it.
affect. Mhm.
You're exactly right. You're
So
exactly right.
so let's go ahead and let's wrap up our Mother's Day forecast for the area. We'll focus in over on the Del Rio area, and notice that we did throw in a 30% chance for tomorrow. But Robert, this is really going to be mainly for tonight into the
Right.
very early morning hours tomorrow. But I mean, I would say by 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow, it should be clearing out for the
It
Del
should be
Rio.
gone. Yeah, most of that rain out there in Del Rio will be coming in likely this afternoon, this evening, and then moving on out early in the morning tomorrow. And I'll be heading out there. I'm driving actually to go see my mom in Del Rio and be at an event this evening. And I got my Del Rio hat on, always representing Del Rio there. So love my hometown of Del Rio again. But great information weather-wise comes out of Del Rio, because that's one of the places they launched the weather balloon.
Yes.
And gets us some great information of what's happening in the atmosphere and predicts the weather for the next few days, few hours, few days, and on in the extended forecast as well. Very important information comes out of
Yes.
Del Rio. And as we go through the summer months, in one of those days where maybe there's less to talk about, we'll bring out the weather balloon that I have and we'll show her to our viewers.
Yes, that would be amazing. I know everybody would enjoy seeing that type of, again, hands-on, right? You know, so
Exactly.
so this is exactly what we use. It's not all just the technology, computers and everything. We actually have the weather balloons that help us out with that. So let's go ahead and let's roll over to the Austin area. So Austin, again, kind of same thing as what we were talking about with the San Antonio area. We're gonna probably see most of this earlier in the day. Y'all a little bit more north than obviously San Antonio, so we could see some lingering showers throughout the early part of the afternoon. But I really think that based on at least what the data is coming in from this morning, it looks like that the focus is going to be really in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the afternoon hours. So hopefully we can see this clearing out and it's
More
nice.
of a morning rain, but look at the temperature, not even almost getting to 80 degrees, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite. And then San Antonio, we can't leave y'all out. So we'll look at again a 50% chance, mainly in the morning. We could see some stray showers throughout the afternoon. If anything changes, obviously we will let y'all know as quick as possible. But again, not expecting any severe weather. We can't rule out any possibility of strong storms though. But if anything does change, we will definitely let you know. Again, look at that, 84, and that's
Exactly.
not too bad. So we'll take that. So
Absolutely.
Robert, when we come back, we'll go ahead. We'll hit those other cities around Texas. We'll get our around the Texas forecast.
We'll get our Texas connection going on.
Yes, our Texas connection here on Anthem Television. We will be right back.
Innocent people are unexpectedly injured. You are not alone. One man has made it his mission to fight for you. With millions recovered for his clients and over 20 years' experience handling injury cases, he'll ride with you till the end. If you or a loved one have been injured in a motor vehicle crash or on the job, Marco Crawford Law is the firm you want to choose.
And we are back. Absolutely. We got your Texas connection going on. Weather-wise, there will be some rain across most of Texas this weekend, but it will not be widespread and cover your whole weekend. But when will it hit your area? Let's talk about that right now.
Yes, and again, we were mentioning the severe weather threat. And again, out for West Texas today, it looks like that there is the possibility that we could see some severe storms out there. Obviously not as widespread as what we have seen for the last 2.5 weeks. We'll definitely take that. For tomorrow, the outlook doesn't look too bad either. When we see that marginal area, I mean, that's, we're seeing the general area of thunderstorms like what we saw on the radar that we're looking at from one of our models. But there could be a severe storm in this area. So, especially in the darker green area, again, from the hill country, northern parts of Texas, Panhandle included, East Texas over in the Houston area. Again, it should be more of a thunderstorm rain event, but if there is any severe weather, it'll be likely to be very, very isolated in this case.
Very isolated. You're exactly right.
And then looking at Monday, we did want to bring in Monday because originally there wasn't really severe weather really forecasted, but again, as the more fresh models have come in, we're starting to see that potential could exist for some severe weather Monday. So this is something, Robert, I think we're going to have to keep an eye on as we go through tomorrow afternoon.
What's interesting about this event is as we get the heating of the day, afternoon, storms will be pretty much developing over San Antonio and then moving eastward. And so when we get the heating of the day, late afternoon, that's the time we tend to get the severe weather. So it'll develop here. It will not last long, and it'll quickly shift to the east, but we will be under the gun. We're on the western edge of it, but this is the area where they're going to develop very quickly that afternoon.
Right. And, and like with the San Marcos storm that we had with the monster hail, we were right on the edge for San Antonio of just this level 2, the yellow slight region. And San Marcos was right on the edge of the level 3, the enhanced. So, I mean, I would almost say a safe bet that by the time we get to Monday morning, we'll probably see an enhanced area. We're already seeing a slight area right now for 2 days in advance. We could see an advanced region pop up that Storm Prediction Center wants to focus on.
Probably around the Houston area. Yeah, more than likely it'll be out the Houston, moving into Louisiana.
But you don't have to be in that enhanced area to be in the possibility of getting severe weather. So that's what we want to make sure that everybody understands, that even if we're not in the higher levels of the severe outlook, we still could see severe weather. So we want to make sure that we stay alert, be weather ready. And then let's go ahead and let's head over to Houston. Okay. So again, for today, should be nice. 85 for the high. I mean, can't complain about that. I know it's gonna be a little bit muggy because right now we still got the northeast winds this morning, but especially in the Houston area, I believe those winds, as the day goes on, it's going to kind of turn back around. We're going to start getting that Gulf return. So probably in terms of humidity, we're going to see that kick up later in the afternoon hours. Tomorrow, we're looking at about a 70% chance. Again, this should be more from late morning to early evening for the Houston area.
Right.
Go over to...
Good, and then chances of rain continuing on Monday for them.
Yes, and Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, today should be nice. Look at those temperatures, Robert.
I know. And they're enjoying a beautiful morning this morning. If our humidity's low, Dallas is really enjoying this morning.
And then tomorrow, though, we did bump that up. We originally had that, I think, down at 60%. We bumped it up this morning to 80% based on what we're seeing. I mean, honestly, it could be I hate to say washout, but it could be a good.
There'll be a lot of rain
Yeah.
If
So
you're driving up I-35 between Temple, Waco, up to Dallas, be very careful. Allow extra room between you and the car ahead of you, just because those roads are going to be wet tomorrow throughout the day.
Yes. And we know out west, in the El Paso area, they typically tend to miss out on a lot of this action. But we did throw in a 10% chance. I really think that threat's probably going to be more towards the east of El Paso.
Just east of them.
But
it's interesting with El Paso, because they're usually this time of year they do not get much of the rain that we do. Their rain comes in the monsoon season, the time you get hurricanes out in the Pacific, that moisture comes over them. So usually late July, August, September is when they see their bulk of their rainfall.
Yes, when we're baking over here in the hundreds, they're getting the monsoon season over there. Right. And I want to point out something too, Robert. If you notice this for today, look at those winds for El Paso, east southeast. They typically don't, like you said, they typically don't get these winds coming from our area going towards them. They're typically from out of the west, and so this is why again we're seeing that potential that they got a little bit of moisture to work with.
A little bit of moisture,
a shower or two, and again the threat for today is in that Fort Stockton area. So east of El Paso, the further down I-10 you go, you have a better chance of seeing some rain. But then
some rain today. Tomorrow should be nice for most of West Texas. Very beautiful weather.
It'll be a little bit breezy out there. Yeah. But again, look, the winds for tomorrow back out from the west, so everything clears out. It's gonna be a nice day for El Paso.
Nice Mother's Day Sunday out west.
Yes, and then those that are heading to the beach today, in the Corpus area, we got a 20% chance. We might see a few showers as the afternoon, the daytime heating kicks in. But overall, it should be pretty nice down there. Water temperatures are slowly warming up. I think last I saw was 80 degrees, 81. So yeah, it's getting there.
And then most of the rain here, again, very widely scattered as we go through it'll stay north of that area. I will tell you, Brian, next week's a very important weekend. I know this weekend's important for Mother's Day, but people going to Corpus Christi next weekend. Beach to Bay Marathon is next weekend.
Ooh, yes.
Lots of people, lots of runners. So we'll have that forecast for you. I know lots and lots of people put teams together. That's a fun weekend for just friends to hang together and enjoy, stay healthy as well, and get some good running in. And of course, it's always humid for that. So
yes, hydrate. I think if anything, what we'll do is we'll make Corpus a highlight for next week. So We'll make sure that we got them covered for the marathon. And then heading further south, South Padre. I mean, maybe a stray shower today as well. But overall, tomorrow you're really going to miss out. You're going to miss out on the rain, which again, perfect for Mother's Day weekend if you are down at the beach in South Padre. And I mean, again, can't complain. We're not at those 100-degree days yet. I mean, we were close this past week, Robert, but I'll tell you what, in the SA 7-day, I think we see some 90s creeping back in. So
what's interesting, I know before we end and go to the break here, there is some storms. If you're at the beach right now, just south of Corpus Christi, some thunderstorms moving towards the beach area. That we do have some showers further south, North Padre.
South
those
Padre showers. I mean, right now it is looking like
we do have some thunderstorms actually as well. So just be careful if you're in Mustang Island, maybe Port Aransas. There's some storms approaching. They're widely scattered, but again, lightning is what scares me the most. But there is a few storms that'll pass through the area, but they'll be gone pretty quickly. They're moving very rapidly to the northeast.
Oh yeah, and even down in the South Padre, we do have some showers down there too. But again, very very widely scattered. But if you hear thunder roars, go indoors.
Go indoors. Exactly right.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back with the SA 7-day. We'll be right back.
Our family has been serving South Texas for generations. Just like you, our Window World family is made up of moms.
We are Window World.
Dads.
We are Window World.
Sons, daughters.
We are Window World.
We are Window World.
All raising our families right here in South Texas.
And right now, we have a special offer for you and your family.
Call or visit online today and get 8 double hung windows installed starting at only $52.50.
And we are back with the SA 7-day. And I always say it's the important 7-day forecast. People want to know there's always a day somewhere in there that is we have something outdoors and how we're going to plan for it. So let's see how we're going to plan for that 7-day.
Yes. So for today, Robert, we're looking here in the San Antonio area. I mean, it's going to be a pretty cloudy day. We'll see the sun out. I mean, right now it's a little bit hazy out there still too. But notice I want to just point out that it says 40% chance of storms there. This is more. Notice how it's more to the right of the screen because this is more for the later in the evening,
later in the day,
or night hours.
For our friends in our western areas. I'm driving to Del Rio sometime this afternoon, and as I drive westward, my chances of rain will increase because more than likely rain will develop in northern Mexico, move in along the Rio Grande, and then that'll spread towards San Antonio. So that 40% is basically for our western areas.
Yes. Yeah. And again, we'll see that more overnight for here in the city. Going into tomorrow, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, Sam.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom, out in Del Rio. Happy birthday to my wife, Yvonne. So.
Yes, and again, we're looking at 50% chance of storms tomorrow. Again, for the San Antonio area, we're looking at this to be more earlier in the day. Hopefully by noon, we should be able to see everything in terms of the activity north of San Antonio, north of the Hill Country. If this changes, obviously we will let you know. But it does look like it's going to be better now. That 40% though for Monday, Robert, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that.
Right, because that 40% is severe. It'll be widely scattered about the area, but some of those could be severe because of the daytime heating and the moisture returns.
Yeah, just like what we saw on Thursday, Robert. I mean, it's the severe weather was out there. Not everybody's going to get it. So
anybody traveling from San Antonio to Houston, you got to be on the lookout. That's the area to be very critical of, especially in the afternoon, evening hours. Severe weather is a big likelihood along I-10 heading east.
Yes. And then we clear out for Tuesday, but notice those temperatures, Robert, they go back up to the 90s again.
Yeah.
So not a long break in terms of staying away from those 90s, but then we bring back the rain chances Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday come back, and again, another disturbance coming in and going to give us those chances of rain. And again, a couple days of rainfall. Hopefully we get the rainfall that we desperately need in our area. And hopefully the eastern areas get a break. A lot of those rivers are still in flood.
Yes.
And hopefully we get some of that rainfall that they've been getting.
Yes. So we'll see how the week pans out, especially, Monday's going to be our focus for this upcoming week in terms of severe weather. After that, we'll focus on that next disturbance to see what comes with Wednesday and Thursday's forecast. Hopefully, again, nothing too severe, nothing too widespread, but as always, we will keep you up to date here on the Texas Weather Connection here at Anthem Television. Robert, again, everybody, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. All of you all are awesome. Thanks for doing a great job taking care of our kids and making them better and taking care of us as well. Those moms do everything for everybody. So
yes, we appreciate all the hard work and everything you've done for us. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Robert, we can't forget about Monday, though, with the severe weather we also have in the morning. Where's Cleto with Vanessa? So
exactly. Where's Cleto's coming back on Monday all week long, right here on Anthem Television.
So from us here at the Texas Weather Connection, we thank you for joining us. And again, if you have any questions about your location, feel free to send us a message. We will definitely get back to you with your forecast.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you later, everybody.
We come from all walks of life, all races, all genders, all styles. We are more than a rock school, more than the art of dance. We are a destination for art, creativity, performance, and community. We are Anthem. Join us in our mission, enriching the lives of every student through the power of belief.